Have a man who is charged with the Queens fire that killed 4 people. Why did he set the fire? Sounds like because he got fired from his job. So let's get over into it and see what we can find out.
Also tonight, a man now charged with several counts of murder, all for a fire in Queens that killed a baby. Eyewitness News reporter Sonia Rincon with new details about how he allegedly started the fire.
This is the man accused of starting the fire that ultimately killed 4 people, including a 3-year-old in Flushing last month.
My heart went out to the baby, the 3-year-old.
Neighbors remember the fire on March 16th on College Point Boulevard and Avery Avenue that started around noon. It ripped through several apartments, trapping residents inside while others jumped from the windows. This neighbor lives in a nearby high-rise.
So I saw it from the window, and this whole smoke plume coming out.
This evening, 37-year-old Roman Amatitla said nothing and ignored questions as he was brought out of the 109th Precinct Station, charged with multiple counts of murder and arson, arrested this morning at his home several miles away after a joint investigation involving police and fire marshals. Sources tell Eyewitness News he deliberately set the fire in the vestibule, lighting a piece of paper and wood on fire. There's now a vacate order on the front door, the damage still evident. The building had a history of complaints about illegal subdivisions and conversions and squatting. The apartments inside were cluttered. Neighbors had no idea just how deadly those conditions turned out to be for those who couldn't safely escape. The 3-year-old girl, a 50-year-old man, and a man and woman in their 60s.
4. I don't even know if it's 4. I just heard about the baby.
Nor did they know it was being investigated as a case of arson. Both surprised and relieved to hear someone's been arrested.
They took that innocent people's life that day. That's sad.
Suspect Roman Amatidia is due here in court in the morning to face those murder and arson charges, as well as a few counts of petty larceny for allegedly stealing beer that day. Sources tell us he has no criminal record, and there's no word yet on a motive for setting the fire, or what, if any, connection he had to anyone in that Flushing building. At Queens Criminal Court.
Now let's get over into this next video where they talk about a possible motive or a reason he could have done it. Basically him getting fired from his job. Let's get over into it.
This was arraignment day for murder charges against a 37-year-old man who New York cops say intentionally set a building on fire in Queens, a fire that killed 4 people, including a 3-year-old girl. Roman Mantilla is accused of starting that fire last month in the vestibule of the building on College Point Boulevard. This is in Flushing. Cops say he has no prior connection to this building. So why did he do this? Here's Eyewitness News reporter Shantae Lyons.
New disturbing details revealed in court about the man accused of setting this building on fire and killing 4 complete strangers, including a 3-year-old girl.
This is probably the most severe crime that this borough has seen in the last few years.
Queens District Attorney Melinda Katz says 38-year-old Roman Amatitla of Corona, Queens, admitted to investigators that he lit this building on fire and was captured on surveillance going in and out of the same building before the fire 3 times before walking across the street to this BP gas station.
This was a man who, before he put the house on fire, went to go get beers, then asked to buy a lighter. He was told he had to pay for the lighter, asked for matches. Then he went back to the location. He burned it.
Kat says Amatitla lit a piece of paper on fire, put it on top of garbage at the bottom of the first floor stairwell before watching it ignite. She says he continued to watch from down the block.
As a mother was screaming because her 3-year-old child was in the house, and he was drinking some beers.
That 3-year-old girl and 2 adults died inside of smoke inhalation. Heavy smoke forced 5 residents to jump out of the windows to try to save their own lives. A 64-year-old man didn't make it. The DA is calling it an act of mass murder as the criminal complaint reveals a shocking motive that Amatitla admitted to starting the fire, quote, as a way to get his rage out over being fired from an unrelated job by individuals unrelated to the incident.
Send him straight under the jail. You mean to tell me you set a fire killing 4 people or not caring who you killed, all because you got fired? You know how many people get fired every... You don't deserve to see the rest of the light of day. Let's keep going into the show.
Prosecutors say he also told detectives that he, quote, had been in a fight at work and that he knew lighting the fire was going to cause harm to someone, but he did it because he needed to get his anger out. Prosecutors say he recently lost his job working in the food industry. Amatitla's attorney speaking briefly outside of court.
We intend to vigorously represent him, and I would ask that we let the legal system play out.
Roman Amatitla has no priors. He was held without bail and is due back in court on Monday. In Flushing, Queens, Shantae Lands, Channel 7.
Question, y'all. Here's a good question. Do you think this warrants the death penalty? I mean, I could see where I could go for it, but let me know your thoughts. Let's get over into the AI breakdown just to get a little bit more information on this whole situation. And I did pick up something when I was listening to it. They said the building had a lot of code violations, so we'll get over into that as well. So we know Roman Amita, I don't care what his last name is, 38 years old, has been arrested and charged with 8 counts of second-degree murder, first-degree arson in connection with the March 16, 2026 fire in Flushing's Queen. Killed 4 people. Prosecutors allegedly say it was fueled by rage after he was fired from his food preparation job that day and chose the building at random to vent his frustrations. Wow. He allegedly entered the mixed-use building on Avery Avenue and College Point Boulevard, lit a piece of paper on fire, placed it on a garbage can at the base of the only stairwell for the residential. Oh, I didn't even think about that. The only means of escape, he set the fire there. Yeah, send him to jail. While the building was burning, he reportedly sat on a nearby curb, drank a stolen beer, and watched as panicked residents were forced to jump from the upper story windows to escape. 4 victims were killed, including a 3-year-old girl. The deceased have been identified as Shang Yang, 3, Chingirl Ku, 50, Xing Qing Ming, 61, and Hong Zhou, 64, who died from blunt force injuries after jumping from the window. Oh, the 64-year-old did. At least 7 others were injured, including 2 firefighters who were hurt when the staircase collapsed. He was arraigned on April 9th, 2026, where he pleaded not guilty. He is currently being held without bail and faces 25 years to life in prison if convicted. Queens District Attorney described the event as an act of mass murder and one of the most disturbing crimes that he has seen in years. So the building, so let's get over into the building part. They said it had a lot of basically violations. So let's get over into that and see if that played into a factor into it. The building at 13205 Avery Avenue in Flushing had a long history of housing violations, recording 55 violations dating back to 1998 at the time of March 2026. 16 violations remained. So the major safety stuff, we have illegal conversions and overcrowding. The property originally a 2-family home was reportedly citing for being illegally subdivided into multiple single-room occupancy units. They found the building improperly converted into a 7-family residence with 9 additional bedrooms and illegal cooking equipment in the rooms. Court filings and tenants interviewed suggest that the building may have been divided into as many as 14 units. So from 2 family places, for 2 families, turned into a 14-unit place. A partial vacate order issued in 2020 for a second and third floors were still in effect when the fire broke out. Officials stated no one should have been living on those floors in the first place. And then they got violation in 2026, citing a failure to maintain the building, specifically noting extension cords running throughout the hallways from the first to the third floor. Blocked egresses, tenants reported garbage and debris blocking hallways and stairways, which likely hindered escape from the fire. Illegal gambling. In 2023, the building was cited and fined $25,000 for illegal gambling set up on the first floor. Oh, this was a crazy place. The owner, Deshaun Yi, was sued by the city in 2023 to collect $300,000 in penalties related to the outstanding violations. It definitely did not help how the building was set up. That probably could have saved some people, or at least helped some people get out easier. But we still gotta blame the majority on the actual person who lit the fire. He lit it directly under the stairwell, the only stairwell to get down off the upper floors. He didn't care who he hurt. He just wanted to hurt someone because he was hurting. And these are the people who need to be locked up for the rest of their lives. They are trying to charge him with getting 25 years to life right now. Hopefully he gets convicted. But we'll have to see what his actual sentencing will be. Will he be able to leave free man at one point? But let me know your thoughts on that situation, y'all. Let me know how you feel about it.